Jim Davidson shares unfiltered thoughts on UK politics sparks heated reactions. Veteran British comedian Jim Davidson is no stranger to controversy, but at a recent live performance, his outspoken views on the current political climate, particularly surrounding Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer, reignited debate across the UK. Known for his no-holds-barred style, Davidson used a portion of his show to offer candid opinions on the direction of British politics, prompting a mix of applause, discomfort, and deep reflection from the audience. Let's unpack what happened, why it's making waves, and what it says about the state of public discourse in the UK. During a stop on his latest comedy tour, Jim Davidson veered from his typical routines to speak more openly about his frustrations with modern British leadership. While his comedy has always leaned into social commentary, this moment felt especially raw and, to many in the audience, surprisingly personal. Without naming parties outright at first, Davidson criticized what he sees as career politicians who, in his words, have forgotten what it means to actually live among the people. He later specifically mentioned Sir Keir Starmer, leader of the Labour Party, referencing the challenges facing working-class Britons and questioning whether the political elite are in touch with everyday concerns. In Davidson's words, "It's all well and good talking about values in Parliament, but when was the last time any of them had to stretch a tenner for the week?" The comment drew a mix of laughs and murmurs, a sign that while many were entertained, the message hit close to home for some. As expected with a figure as polarizing as Jim Davidson, audience reactions ranged from enthusiastic cheers to visible discomfort. Some attendees, speaking to local press after the event, praised the comedian for saying what many are thinking but are too afraid to say. Others felt the moment blurred the line between comedy and political commentary, suggesting it risked alienating certain viewers. Online, the divide widened further. Clips of Davidson's political commentary surfaced on social media, sparking debates on platforms like X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube Shorts. Supporters applauded him for being authentic and unfiltered, while critics argued that public figures, even comedians, should be mindful of how they discuss political issues, especially in a climate already tense with division. This moment brings up a bigger question. What is the role of comedians in political conversations? Throughout history, comedy has been a tool for questioning authority, challenging norms, and reflecting public sentiment. From Charlie Chaplin's satirical takes on authoritarianism to today's stand-up comics tackling culture wars and elections, humor often cuts through where traditional media cannot. Jim Davidson, like many before him, uses comedy as commentary. Whether you agree with his views or not, the power of his performance lies in its ability to provoke thought. As long as the content avoids misinformation and remains grounded in personal perspective rather than false claims, it serves as a valid if provocative contribution to democratic dialogue. The UK is currently facing a complex political landscape. With rising living costs, debates over immigration, the future of the NHS, and growing political apathy, many citizens feel disconnected from those in power. In this climate, when a public figure voices those concerns, especially in a blunt, comedic way, it resonates. Davidson's performance, while not a policy critique, touched on that very real disconnect. By invoking the experience of the everyman, he tapped into a broader frustration shared by people across party lines. His remarks about politicians needing to get out of Westminster and back into reality echoed sentiments heard in pubs, high streets, and social media threads nationwide. While some may cheer Davidson's message, others rightly raise concerns about tone and representation. A healthy political conversation must include diverse voices, including those who support Labour policies or appreciate Sir Keir Starmer's leadership style. It's also essential to acknowledge that politics is complex. Leaders face competing interests, public scrutiny, and immense responsibility. Reducing their work to punchlines can oversimplify serious issues. However, satire and critique, when rooted in honesty and humor rather than hostility, play a valuable role in holding systems accountable. Jim Davidson's comments weren't just a comedic aside, they reflected real frustrations, real perspectives, and a growing hunger for authenticity in public life. Whether you found them powerful, problematic, or somewhere in between, they've sparked a conversation that's worth having. In times of uncertainty, humor remains a powerful tool not just for escape, but for engagement. And as long as it's wielded responsibly, it can help us see issues from angles we hadn't considered before. Do comedians like Jim Davidson help or hurt political conversation in the UK? Should public figures speak more openly, or is there a line that shouldn't be crossed? We want to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown insightful, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon for more fact-based, balanced coverage on UK politics and culture. Thanks for watching. Stay thoughtful, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next one.